morning, students. Today we will discuss about digestive system of Phyla globosa, commonly known as apple snail. Myself, Dr. Balram Sai, Assistant Professor in Zoology, Government Tunga College, Bikaner. Digestive system of Phyla globosa. The digestive system comprises of a tubular alimentary canal, a pair of salivary glands, and a large digestive gland. Now we will discuss each one by one. Alimentary canal. The alimentary canal is distinguished into three regions. First is the foregut or stomatium. It includes the buccal mass and the mouth and the esophagus. Once again, the foregut or stomatium includes the mouth, buccal mass and esophagus. Second is the midgut or mesenteron, consisting of the stomach and the intestine part, and the hindgut or proctarium is comprising of the rectum. Here we can say the midgut alone is lined by endoderm, while the other two, foregut and hindgut, are lined by ectoderm. Foregut. The foregut includes the mouth, buccal mass and esophagus. Mouth, buccal mass. In buccal mass, buccal cavity and radula will be discussed, and last is esophagus. Now we will discuss first the mouth. The mouth is a narrow vertical slit situated at the end of snout. There are no true lips, but the plicate edges alone serve as secondary lips. If we talk about the buccal mass, the mouth leads into large cavity of buccal mass or pharynx, having thick walls with several sets of muscles. The anterior part of the cavity of a buccal mass is vestibule. Behind the vestibule are the two jaws hanging from the roof of the buccal mass. The jaws bear muscles and their anterior ridges have teeth-like projections for cutting up vegetable food. Next is the buccal cavity. Behind the jaws is a large buccal cavity. On the floor of buccal cavity is a large elevation called odontophore. The front part of odontophore has a furrowed subradular organ which helps in cutting food. The odontophore has protractor and retractor muscles and two pairs of cartilages, a pair of triangular superior cartilages which project into the buccal cavity, and a pair of large S-shaped lateral cartilages. Radula. Above and behind the odontophore is a bag-like radular sac which is a diverticulum of the buccal cavity. The radular sac has transverse rows of cells called adentoblasts. Inside the radular sac is a radula which is characteristic of mollusca. This is the radula. The radula is made of many transverse rows of horny teeth. Here you can see from the picture there are many rows of transverse rows of horny teeth, and in each row, if we discuss, a single row of radular teeth as shown in picture has 7 teeth: outer marginal, inner marginal, lateral marginal, and median or central rachidine tooth, thus giving a formula of 21112. The radula moves forward and backward on the odontophore for rasping food particles. These movements of radula are called chainsaw movements. The teeth are made of chitin, which is reinforced by hardened protein. They have sharp cutting projections, which act like a file and rasp vegetable food. The teeth of the radula are worn off in front and new teeth are formed all the time by odontoblasts. On the roof of buccal cavity, above the radula, is a pair of grooved buccal glands which are digestive. If we talk about the esophagus, the buccal mass leads into a long, narrow esophagus. From near the origin of the esophagus arise a pair of round, whitish esophageal pouches. Esophageal pouches serve for a temporary storage of food and digestion begins in them. Some extracellular digestion is brought about in the stomach by the enzymes produced by the salivary glands and the esophageal pouches. Next is the midgut. The midgut includes the stomach and intestine. If we discuss one by one, first the stomach. Stomach begins on the left side just below the pericardium and run backwards as a blind pouch on the posterior lateral sides of the main wall of the visceral mass. It is a rectangular sac of dark red color having a broad U-shaped internal cavity of rose red color. The stomach is differentiated into two chambers, that is the cardiac chamber and pyloric chamber. The cardiac chamber is rounded in appearance and possesses longitudinal folds on its inner surface. The esophagus opens into it. The pyloric chamber is tubular and has transverse folds on its inner surface. From the pyloric chamber arises a short bag-like cecum, but it has no crystalline style as found in many gastropods. The duct of digestive gland opens into the stomach at the junction of its two chambers. Next is the intestine. From the pyloric chamber arises intestine, which runs along its anterior edge and further along the digestive gland beneath the posterior renal chamber. It then turns upwards and backwards in the visceral mass where it forms 2.5 or 3 coils between the gonad in front and the digestive gland behind before joining the rectum. Next is the hindgut part. If we discuss about the hindgut, the rectum or terminal part of the alimentary canal is a thick walled tube. It enters the mental cavity and passes downwards to open by an anus on the right of the head. Next is the salivary glands. The two salivary glands lying one on each side of the posterior limit of the buccal mass and partially cover the esophagus. We will discuss with the help of the picture. This is the buccal mass, and here you can see on the both sides of the esophagus are the esophageal pouches, and these are the salivary glands located one on each side of the posterior limit of the buccal mass. This is the buccal mass, and on the posterior part you can see the salivary glands. Now again coming back to the slide, that is the surface and margins of the each gland are greatly cut up, giving it the appearance of a somewhat branched type of gland, and the duct of each gland begins near its internal anterior corner and immediately enters the muscles of the buccal mass and opens into the buccal cavity. The secretion of salivary glands contain mucus and enzymes which digest starch, and the mucus lubricates the radula and helps in the transport of food. Next is the digestive glands. The digestive gland, often referred to as liver or hepatopancreas of pila, is a somewhat triangular plate or cone with a very convex outer and more or less flattened inner surface. Now with the help of the diagram we can see. This is the picture of digestive gland and the other associated structures seen from the inner side. Here you can see this is the stomach, and this is the anterior area of the digestive gland, and this is the posterior area of digestive gland. This is the duct of posterior digestive gland, and this is the duct of anterior digestive gland. Here you can see ovary, and this is the oviduct. The gland is a brownish to dirty green color and is quite soft when fresh. Two main ducts arise from the two main lobes of the digestive gland. These ducts unite just before reaching the stomach to open into it by a common aperture. The digestive gland is made up of a number of fine tubules bound together by connective tissue. These tubules unite with one another to form larger tubules which terminate in two main ducts corresponding to main lobes of the gland. The terminal part of each tubule is glandular, called the alveolus, and the rest of the tubule is ciliated. Next is the food and feeding. The food consists of aquatic plants of succulent nature like Vallisneria and Plistia, which are cut by jaws and the odontophore. Then the radula moves forward and backwards, filing the food into the small particles exactly like the chainsaw mechanism. Thus the food is cut up and masticated inside the buccal cavity. Next is the digestion. The salivary glands pour their secretion by means of their ducts into the buccal cavity where it mixes with the food. It helps in digesting the starch by converting it into sugar. In the stomach, the food is digested by the secretion of digestive gland. The secretion of digestive gland digests various kinds of food, but cellulose is digested inside the resorptive cell only. Thus, both extracellular and intracellular digestion occurs. The stomach is the main site of extracellular digestion, and the digestive gland is the site of intracellular digestion and absorption, which is a characteristic feature of mollusca. Absorption of digested food takes place mainly in the digestive gland and some in the intestine. That's all in today's lecture. Thanks a lot for paying the attention, and in the upcoming lecture we will discuss about the respiratory organs or respiratory structures in pila.